When we think of people who have led impactful lives, Carl Jung, Albert Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci, or Nelson Mandela, we often compare our seemingly ordinary existence to their extraordinary accomplishments. We might ask ourselves, how could my life ever be as meaningful? However, Carl Jung's answer to this question is surprisingly intimate and empowering. Purpose is not about what you achieve, but who you truly are. According to Jungian philosophy, your deepest purpose lies hidden in the parts of yourself you often ignore, your shadow. Jung once wrote, "As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light of meaning in the darkness of mere being." This statement is not poetic flourish. It is the heart of his analytical psychology. It challenges us to look not outward at external success, but inward into our psyche, into the unconscious, the shadow, the fears and impulses we suppress. Because in that darkness lies the light of true purpose. The psyche, a map of the self. To understand Jung's path to purpose, we must first understand how he viewed the human psyche. He believed that we are composed of both the conscious and unconscious. The conscious includes everything we're aware of, thoughts, decisions, beliefs, while the unconscious is a vast realm of hidden impulses, forgotten experiences, and repressed emotions. At the center of our conscious mind sits the ego, our sense of identity. But beyond the ego, in the unconscious, lies the shadow. This shadow is not just a collection of bad traits. It holds everything we have disowned in ourselves, both destructive and creative. For Jung, purpose isn't something we chase in the external world. It is uncovered within by unifying our conscious self with the shadow through a process he called individuation. This is where real transformation begins. Step 1. Know your darkness. Jung famously said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." This is the invitation to begin shadow work, to take a sincere look at your hidden side. We often think we know ourselves, our likes, dislikes, strengths, and weaknesses. But what about the parts of us we pretend don't exist? Your shadow might contain jealousy, laziness, rage, or envy. But it might also house disowned creativity, unrealized desires, or unconventional dreams. These are parts of you that were repressed, often in childhood, because they were judged, discouraged, or didn't fit in. To explore your shadow, Jung encouraged deep self-reflection. Journaling, meditation, and honest questioning are tools you can use. Ask yourself, why did I react that way? What am I hiding from others or myself? What bothers me most in others and why? This leads us to the next Jungian insight. Projection. Projection. Your shadow in others. One of Jung's most fascinating concepts is that we often project our shadow onto others. This means the traits we most dislike in others are often the traits we've disowned in ourselves. For example, someone who constantly criticizes others for being selfish might be denying their own selfish desires. Someone who finds impatience intolerable might be suppressing their own impatience. Instead of simply judging others, Jung taught us to use our judgments as mirrors. If someone annoys you, ask, is this trait in me too? Have I denied this part of myself? This turns every difficult encounter into an opportunity for growth. Step 2. Integrate, don't eliminate. Once we begin uncovering our shadow, the next step is not to reject it, but to integrate it. Many people make the mistake of trying to eliminate their negative traits. Jung warned against this. Repression does not make those traits disappear, it gives them power. Repressed anger, for example, doesn't vanish. It festers and can erupt explosively. Repressed laziness can turn into burnout. Fear, if pushed aside, can quietly control our decisions. Instead, Jung encouraged us to see the value in our dark traits. Anger, when appropriate, can help us set boundaries. Laziness might signal a need for rest or reflection. Envy can highlight what we truly desire. When integrated, these traits can become assets, not liabilities. This process of integration doesn't mean acting on every impulse. It means recognizing the shadow's presence and learning how to channel its energy in constructive ways. Step 3. Take meaningful action. Jung wrote, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." Self-knowledge is powerful, but without action, it remains incomplete. Once you understand your shadow and begin to accept your whole self, the next step is to live with intention. Too often, we wait for the right opportunity, the perfect moment, the burst of motivation. This is reactive living. Jungian purpose requires active living. Instead of waiting for people to connect with you, initiate friendship. Instead of waiting for inspiration to strike, begin your creative work today. Instead of waiting for life to feel meaningful, infuse it with meaning through your actions. Even those who begin the process of shadow work can fall into the trap of inertia. Self-reflection is not a destination, it is a launching pad. Real change and real purpose comes from what you do with what you've learned. Step 4. Face your fears. Jung believed that your greatest fear often points directly to your life's most meaningful task. Where your fear is, there is your task, he said. We often confuse fear with failure, but fear, in Jung's philosophy, is not a stop sign, it's a compass. The book you're afraid to write, the career change you hesitate to make, the vulnerability you fear exposing, these are the thresholds of transformation. Avoiding fear only pushes it deeper into the unconscious. There, it becomes a hidden driver of your decisions, disguised as self-doubt or apathy. Instead, Jung advised us to acknowledge fear, understand it, and prepare for it. Not ruminate on worst-case scenarios, but take practical steps to navigate them. Bravery isn't fearlessness, it's action in spite of fear. And in that action, we find meaning. Step 5. Embrace darkness and failure. Even with all this growth, self-reflection, shadow work, intentional living, and courage, life will still be hard. Jung was not a utopian thinker. He warned us that meaning comes not from comfort, but from contrast. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, Jung said. The word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. Hardships are not setbacks in the search for purpose. They are vital components of it. Failure, loss, rejection, these are teachers. They give context to joy. They strengthen resilience. They show us who we really are. When your book is rejected, when your relationship fails, when your plans fall apart, these are not signs that you've strayed from your path. They are the path. Each experience adds layers to your self-knowledge and depth to your life's meaning. Meaning is in the process, not the outcome. Many people believe that a meaningful life is defined by grand achievements, publishing a book, becoming a leader, earning wealth, or winning recognition. Jung disagreed. He argued that meaning is found not in the destination, but in the journey. If you write a novel and it never gets published, that doesn't mean your effort was wasted. The act of writing, the discipline, the vulnerability, the courage, that is what adds meaning. Purpose isn't reserved for those who succeed by society's standards. It belongs to those who dare to act in alignment with who they really are. Being truly yourself, honestly, fearlessly, and actively is what gives your life meaning. The shadow is your guide. Carl Jung's philosophy offers a revolutionary perspective, that your dark side is not an obstacle to purpose, but the doorway to it. The shadow you suppress holds the clues to your desires, your fears, your strengths, and your calling. When you embrace that darkness, you begin to see yourself clearly. From there, Meaning is built through action, courage, self-awareness, and growth. Your purpose is not fixed. It evolves with every decision you make to live consciously and authentically. So ask yourself, what am I hiding from myself? What am I afraid of? What have I judged in others that might reflect something in me? What can I start doing today to make my life meaningful? The answers won't come all at once, but each step you take towards self-discovery and integration brings you closer to living your most purposeful life. In the end, as Jung teaches us, your life is not defined by what you achieve, but by how deeply you know yourself and how boldly you choose to be you.